How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is RuffledRowlit, and welcome back to a brand new video, guys. Today we're going to be taking a look at some Pokemon rumors, leaks, all that kind of stuff. So sit back, relax, let's get started. First things first, going to be this post from 4chan. It is a rumor, of course, and I thought we'd take a look at what it has to say. But here's what the guy starts off with. This is all I know. Don't ask me questions about this because I won't answer them. I'm already taking a huge risk with this. Won't be coming here anytime soon. Well, let's see if this guy has any interesting information. He says that Pokemon Legends ZA gameplay trailer is going to be happening. The setting and story of the trailer, I guess what he's trying to say here, is that the trailer opens with a sweeping view of Lumiose City, showcasing its transformation through time. Players will explore both the modern city and its ancient counterpart, Lumiose Prime. Interesting. So setting a story, the trailer opens with a sweeping view of Lumiose City. Okay, cool. Showcasing its transformation through time. Okay, so we just see how the city has evolved. Players will then explore both the modern city and its ancient counterpart. Lumiose Prime is what it was called. Okay. Now, during the era of the first Kalos King, the story revolves around the urban redevelopment plan. Okay, we've already heard this a million times, which uncovers ancient secrets tied to the Azoth project. Okay. A mysterious energy source linked to the ultimate weapon. Again, makes sense with previous Pokemon lore and, established lore, if you want to say. Time travel mechanic. Apparently, players can switch between a modern and ancient Lumiose, with each era offering unique Pokemon, quests, and environments. This would be peak Pokemon if they did this. Like, this would be peak Pokemon if they actually allowed us to travel in time between two different eras and time frames in the game. Like, that would actually be incredibly cool. But also, realistically speaking, it doesn't sound like something they would actually do. Like, it doesn't sound real in some sense. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, it sounds cool, but also sounds like highly ambitious, which, again, this game could be highly ambitious. We don't really know anything about Legends ZA. Like, we have zero to work with. We only know a little bit from the leaker and just from that reveal trailer. But we do know that, well, guess what, guys? Not this week, but this, so next week, so the week of the 27th, which is, we got like one more week until that week starts. So yeah, we got on the 27th, we do have Pokemon Day. If you guys do not know, for those of you who are not aware, Pokemon Day is a yearly event, and every single year during Pokemon Day, they announce brand new stuff, or they give us information on stuff that we already know things about and stuff like that. They give us trailers, new game announcements, all that big stuff for Pokemon always happens on Pokemon Day. Last year on Pokemon Day, which by the way is always on the 27th of February. The 27th of February is the Pokemon Day. It's the anniversary of Pokemon since the inception of Pokemon Red and Blue. I guess the release date of those games. So it's on the 27th of February. That's the Pokemon Day when all the announcement happens. Last year, we actually got Pokemon Legends ZA announced on Pokemon Day. The year before that, we got the DLC for Scarlet and Violet. And the year before that, we got Scarlet and Violet, right? So every year on Pokemon Day, we get announcements for brand new Pokemon games. So last year, we got Legends ZA announced. And ever since then, we've gotten zero gameplay, zero trailers, zero anything about Legends ZA whatsoever. Which means that this Pokemon Day, so this coming week, not the week that, again, I'm posting this on a Sunday. So point is, the week after this next one is when we're going to be actually getting another Pokemon Day and pretty much guaranteed news, okay? Like, more or less guaranteed news on Pokemon, like, Legends EA. So the question then is, if we do get those news then, time travel seems a little far-fetched, in my opinion, to be something that they would include in this game. Again, it is highly possible. We have had time travel in Pokemon before. I'm fully aware of that. But I'm talking time travel as in literally between two different instances of this game. Because that's double the work, right? You have to make two different locations, essentially, for people to explore, which I find unlikely for them to go with, but it is highly possible that that still could be the case, which I hope it is, because time travel in Pokemon is always fun. You guys may remember time travel if you ever played Heart Gold Soul Silver with Celebi. You had like a special event they could do with Celebi, time travel back to see Silver and Giovanni before Giovanni went down the path of leaving Team Rocket and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's a whole thing. It's a whole entire side thing. So yeah, either way, they say time travel mechanic where players can switch between modern and ancient Lumiose, with each different era offering unique Pokemon, quests, and environments. That would, again, crazy. Urban redevelopment plan. Players can customize parts of the city, influencing which Pokemon appear and how NPCs interact with them. Again, sounds very cool. Like, actually sounds very cool, but it sounds so far from something Pokemon would do. That's the unfortunate reality of it. It sounds so sick, but also sounds so unlikely for Pokemon, but we'll see. They also say, apparently, that influencing with Pokemon, which Pokemon appear and how NPCs interact with them. A legendary Pokemon, apparently, Aurelion, a Dragon Fairy type representing the balance of life and energy. They say then the release date confirmed for November 2025 with a special demo available in August. This I would like. If they would do a demo in August, I would be okay with the November release date. But if they're going to actually just release it in November in general, that's a long time, man, because we've got an entire year with no new Pokemon game and going an entire year again with nothing to play or do, because I'm sorry, but Scarlet and Violet, I've had enough of it, okay? I've played Scarlet and Violet so many times. I'm a little done with that game. It would just be nice to get something different, you know, like something actually different would be really nice. But yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see if anything does develop from that. Nonetheless, though, it is still interesting to think about and discuss. But I'd love to know you guys' thoughts and opinions on this rumor, because it's an interesting rumor. Time travel, again, it's something that I think it's highly unlikely it's gonna happen, but anything is possible. Second thing, though, this was shared to me by Light, who apparently said that this is a new updated Pokemon Day eShop like promo picture. Now, I don't know if it's true or not. I mean, he shared it, so I'm going to assume it is real, but it's supposed to be a new promo picture for Pokemon Day, which just shows, of course, the Pokemon 2025 Pokemon Day logo, as well as some balloons and stuff flying around, which, of course, people instantly try to assume that means something. I highly doubt it has any relevance necessarily to Legends EA or anything like that, or anything, you know, to do with a new game or anything of that nature. It's just an interesting new picture to just celebrate Pokemon Day. Of course, going to be a lot more promo art this next week, probably. We should be expecting announcements and stuff to start happening already. So just expect to see a lot of Pokemon Masters EX, Pokemon Unite, Pokemon Sleep, Pokemon TCG Pocket. That kind of stuff is already going to start getting news this coming week now, like this actual next week, starting from the 17th. We're already going to start seeing stuff then. So just keep that in mind. It is still going to be like a lot of stuff coming out during this period, even before Pokemon Day, because that's what always happens. There's always stuff before Pokemon Day. Moving on, though, we have this post from Soul Silver Art. Now, Soul Silver, for those of you who don't know, he is a fellow friend of mine who also covers like things in terms of, you know, just like rumors and stuff like that, and does like analysis on them. But here's a bit of a theory he has in regards to what the I guess like what the connection is between the Ultimate Weapon and everything, and also what is the deal with the red lettering in the Pokemon Legends ZA logo. And as well as we do have a post here about the A in ZA. So let's start with the first one, which is skeptical about my theory. Take a look at the Pokemon Legends ZA logo and the letters are pink. Now, what is he talking about? Well, if we go back here to a previous post he made, it's this one right here where he says, Pokemon Horizons Rakurium might be pointing to a new type of Mega Evolution in Legends EA, as it seems to reference Infinity or Mega Energy. On one side, and he's talking about, of course, if you guys do not watch Pokemon Horizons, you may not be aware of it, but they're calling it the Rakurium Sphere, which it draws out the latent power of Pokemon and should perhaps be thought of as a source of life. So again, it is potentially going to be some sort of, or at least it could be hinting at a form of new Mega Evolution, potentially. He says, on one side, Rakurium, we have the Eternal Blessing, which gives life, yet another reference to Xerneas and life-giving function of the Ultimate Weapon. Apparently, Rakurium also revived Gibeon, and has kept him alive for around 100 years, paralleling him to AZ. He even slightly resembles him and is potentially a redeemable antagonist. On the other side of Rakurium, it causes Pokemon to enter a painful yet powerfully enraged state, becoming agents of destruction, if you will. Another reference to Yveltal and the destruction function of the Ultimate Weapon. It's almost like a type of wild Mega Evolution, but the Pokemon isn't bonded or in control. I mean, where else have we seen a Pokemon's latent power being mentioned? We also learned in this episode that Spindle is trying to create a type of Rakurium Sphere, which sounds a lot like he's trying to make a way to activate Rakurium on a Pokemon which is in a controlled manner. Maybe he's creating a new type of Mega Stone evolution, because I'm sure normal Mega Evolution exists in the Horizons canon world. Maybe Rakurium will cause a new type of Mega Evolution in ZA, just under a different name. Then he made the second post, which is skeptical about my theory. Take a look at the Pokemon Legends ZA logo. The letters are pink. And you know what else? What could be a perfectly already existing Rakurium counterpart of the in-game ZA lore? The crystals that the sundial is made of, which is true. That is a fair point. Going on then saying that the crystals could be the same rock that Rayquaza ate that made it develop the Mikado organ. The sundial and the rocks Rayquaza ate both originated from space and both caused Mega Evolution in their own ways. Also, this is more of a loose connection, but we technically don't know what the material of the crystal-looking pieces of the Ultimate Weapon are made of either. They could all be the same gemstone/meteorite, rich in infinity energy, and came from outer space, which highly possible. Again, it is all theories, but I'd love to know you guys' thoughts and opinions on it. He says also here, also check out the official Pokemon Legends EA website that uses pink and green as themes. Here's the info that the Sundial Meteor's Rayquaza 8 came from in outer space. Lastly, I mentioned that the connection to the ultimate weapon, because all the three of these things are crystal-like sources of Mega Evolution and stones. Sundial upgrades / locates Mega Ring and stones. Meteorite that Rayquaza H could have been a Mega Stone or even pieces of the Sundial origins. The ultimate weapon creates Mega Stones, which fair. And then, of course, he talking about the official website here. If you go to the website, you guys can see just like the design of the website I guess in this case, which is like, you guys can see it in the back here. I guess he's talking about like the almost hexagonal, like hexagons, which I think is more to do with Zygarde, but again, he's kind of looking at that and like, you know, it does give off a bit of a crystal vibe. That's undeniable that it does. He says, I was saying that also noticed while researching the Pokemon Legends EA logo was that when switching to the PLZA section of the official Japanese website, even the loading wheel screen is in green and pink. So let's see if it looks, yeah, it is right. Like if you look at that, it does have that color, which is kind of cool, actually. Small detail. It's a really small detail, but it is interesting that they would put that level of detail into something like just a freaking loading bar. Because he also made a point about, like, if I speak, Game Freak obviously didn't mention this. If I speak, I'm in big trouble. But yeah, Game Freak obviously didn't intend this. But if you invert the Pokemon Legends EA logo, the pink and gray are even more prominent, and the green is still there too. Just another bit of wild evidence for Hoopa and the Yancy theory, because of course there's a lot of like talks about them being in here because of the pink in the logo, but it is what it is. We'll see if anything does develop from that. Nonetheless, though, speaking of the A in the logo, because we're still talking about Legends EA logo, he says, someone showed me a picture of a cicada right after it had molted. Not only do their wings almost make this A shape, it's this light green color, which has a striking resemblance to the A in Legends EA, which, listen, I'm not a big fan of cicadas, but because they make disgusting noises, but he's not wrong though. The shape of the wings and the color like does kind of give off like it could be the vibe. Like you know what? Especially if you look at the pattern as well. This is actually, I think this might be the best theory I've seen on this. This genuinely is actually one of the coolest theories I've seen on this. Like, shout out to Life for this one. He says, I'm starting to believe that a bug type A legendary could be a very real option. And I doodled a little mock-up Fakemon just to show you how the literal A from the logo could be a bug's wings. I see the vision. But either way, he just makes a revision of it here. He says, here's some other versions that include the more cicada-shaped one. I need a bug legendary Pokemon. Like, honestly, this kind of makes sense. If the A is specifically a cicada legendary, the points made in 2 replies are wild. It fits so well with the Kalos legendary lore. Plus, Ninjask is the smaller black cicada, while this legendary could be the bigger green one. Also, imagine if this was its shiny. But either way, here's some of the points that were made by some audience members who said, cicadas are also sensitive indicators of ecological health. Could be a Zygarde form we've yet to see, or a Mega Zygarde. They could also spend most of their lives underground. Also, plus Shedinja, the theme of peeling off old skin out, rebirth, life and death. Like a lot of bugs do actually go through metamorphosis, which is true, like rebirth almost of some sort. Which is kind of crazy if you think about it. And yeah, I mean, you got the periodical cicada right over here, which is more like, you know, kind of like your regular Ninjask-esque. And over here, this fella, the annual cicada, got a little bit more of that green color going on, which is kind of cool. Again, it is all like, you know, theories, but I kind of like this one. Like a cicada for a legendary would be kind of sick. Like, I'm not even going to lie. It kind of would be pretty sick. But we're going to have to wait and see if anything actually comes from that. Also, by the way, if you guys want to see any sick, like really, really cool renders of like Pokemon, please check out CardNL on Twitter, because this man makes like so many just sick concept arts, and he makes them all in 3D and shit. So please check him out, because he makes some great stuff, and he's like messing around in Blender here making this. This is so sick. I think he's doing this in Cycles, because I can see all those little dots from the Cycles render engine. Man, Blender is fun. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like, he makes some really cool concept. Like, here he made an unknown that looks like the Z and the A, which is pretty sick. But yeah, definitely check him out though, because he again makes really sick stuff, really cool things. And that's gonna be pretty much it for today's video, guys. If you did enjoy it, then drop a like down below, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. Peace out and bye ladies and gentlemen.